Hi, and welcome to Peri Lyons, New York City celebrity psychic. I'm Peri Lyons, so that solves that, and let's fix the hair. And I'm really happy to be here with you tonight. And, Moonstruck TV and A1R Radio are really going places. And I've seen some of the other psychics, and they're really good. Keep watching us, because we're going places. Anyway, so thank you for being here. Today I thought I'd talk a little about what a tarot reader, what a psychic, or as I like to call them, precog empaths. That's going to be very big next year. Precog empath. Okay. Sounds very sort of science fiction. Anyway, so what our role is. And our role is to kind of make ourselves obsolete for you. Ideally, not only should we reflect back to your best possible self, so we can kind of implant the idea of that self, which then takes root and flowers, and we can answer, yes or no questions. And but what a really good intuitive consultant does, precog empath, is show you the possibilities for your future and how to avoid the stuff you don't really want in there, and how to take advantage of the stuff that's kind of coming down the pike. Another thing that we ideally do is help you understand how you think, which is not how anybody else thinks. I work with what I call guides, which I kind of get information, and they're sometimes, some of them are people I've known and loved who are on a different plane right now. And some of them are just people who've shown up. So thank you for doing that. Sometimes I'll hear them in a non-crazy way. And sometimes I can almost see them in front of me. They'll hold up signs. And so sometimes it's like playing charades. They'll try to communicate an idea to me. And sometimes it takes me a moment to learn your language, if you're my client, which you now officially are. So the last thing I was going to say is that one thing I've noticed when people are changing and growing, which everybody who tunes into this show is doing, because if you're tuning into the show, you are just naturally somebody who wants the truth so you can use it to make your life better and heal the people around you, right? So, and sometimes I've noticed when people get determined to fix a particular issue in their life, they'll focus on that, and suddenly the issue will just seem to get big, like really come up in your grill. I've been working on issues about resistance to money and prosperity, right? So I was doing that this week very intensely. And all of this stuff started showing up, all of this like resistance. Like I got some unexpected bills. I got, Citibank, which by the way is not good. Like all this money sort of got siphoned away from me. And it's something that I've seen while working with clients, right? That sometimes when they're really focusing on an issue, the issue would just come up in their grill. And that's a really good sign, because it means that that issue is getting ready to leave. And I call it throwing the drunk out of the bar. Because if you throw a drunk out of a bar, I used to bartend like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. I used to bartend. And sometimes you just have to throw somebody out. And you always, right before you gave them that final push out, they would turn around and they'd be like, "You don't gotta know who I am, but I'm gonna mess you up." And then you go boop and they're out. So if you've been working consciously on making something better in your life, and it suddenly seems to get worse, like overnight and dramatically, that means that you're about to throw that loudmouth drunk out of the bar. So there's always a silver lining. And I think we have Angela, I don't know if I read that name right, in Ontario, my lovely and talented producer. Okay, good. Darling, do you mind if we do a quick psychic weather report? Can you hang out? And you're from Ontario.
Sure,
cool.
Absolutely.
I have two best friends in the room with me tonight. One of them is from Toronto. So I love people from Ontario. They're great. Okay, quickly, we're just going to do the psychic weather forecast. So 3 cards very quickly. We don't know what they are. I'm just pulling them randomly, which is probably dumb, but there we go. So this week, Emperor. So a lot of us might be dealing with stuff to do with our dads or father figures or men who are fathers. When this card comes up, it means for the next week, that's going to be something that shows up in your life. You might be spending time with your dad. You might find out your husband's going to be a dad, but there's a dad-related issue, DRI, coming up in your life. This card is one of my favorite cards to get for anybody. Let's see. I can never get this right. It's called the 9 of Pentacles. It's a woman standing in a garden. And it means that this week, women or people who identify as women are probably going to be feeling this sense of increased independence and increased personal agency, empowerment. That's a good word. So if you're watching this and you happen to be very much like a woman, it's a week in which you're really going to start stepping into your own independence and interdependence. Also, it's a card that says you're going to be sending your ideas in one way out into the world, one way or another, out into the world, and the ideas will come back and bring you money and good stuff. Great card. Oh, this is my favorite card ever. Okay, this is what word is This is the 9 of Pentacles. This is the card of earned happiness. And there's 9 cups behind the guy in the funny hat. The tarot is pretty much all about funny hats, mean that the 9 cups are things that have been earned. So there's health, there's family, there's love, there's children, there's all the good stuff. And those 9 cups are finally lined up. And if you're a good person, and sometimes the world doesn't reflect that back to you, this is a week when your good karma is going to come knocking, and my advice is let it in, as long as it shows ID. Okay, thank you. That's our tarot psychic weather forecast. Angela, hello. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Good. Thanks for calling. Before we start, I'm going to ask you quickly when your birthday is, because that's how I tune in.
Okay, May 6th, 75.
Oh, great. We love Tauruses, and that week of Taurus, my friend here is May 8th, is especially good. There are 3 parts to every sign, and so that is the Virgo part of Taurus. Virgo is misunderstood sign. It's not about lining pencils up and being OCD. Virgo is about a quest for purity and ideals, and living those ideals in the world we live in. It's a wonderful sign. So you're the Virgo part of Taurus, which says to me that you are probably somebody who really has a strong sense of truth, somebody who's kind of idealistic, but also somebody who's very practical, because that's the most practical part of Taurus. And Tauruses are great because they really get beauty on the earthly plane. They understand beauty, but they also understand work and the spiritual nature of work and beauty. And they're my favorites. I love them. Sorry. And I was gesturing so much. Angela got so excited by you that I completely lost the thread. Okay. What's your, see, that's a huge compliment. What's your question today?
Okay, I have 2, so it's up to you. Which one? One, I wanted to know if I was moving soon, and two, if there was a relationship for me anytime soon.
Well, I can guarantee there's a relationship for you, and then we'll move to the moving and we'll use the cards for that. But the reason I can guarantee there's a relationship for you, and why there hasn't been one for a while, that's the other thing, is you're changing what you need and what you'll accept. And you're doing that consciously. So good for you.
Yeah.
As I said before, when we're doing something consciously, sometimes the opposite of what we're working for will show up. So if you've had bad dates or something in the last couple months, and I've had dates so bad that I went home and burned the outfit I was wearing. So, but right.
No,
I'm
actually,
serious.
I haven't had any dates in over 9 months. So that's why I was just wondering.
Okay, that's because unconsciously, let me just see what I got. You're changing, and you didn't want distraction. And and our guardian angels they're very precise. If we ask even sort of unconsciously for time to make ourselves the person we want to be in a relationship, so we'll get the person we deserve. I have to scratch my nose. Hold on.
Right.
Sorry. Okay. That's what's been going on. You really have been working on yourself. I'm so impressed. Now, the first card I get is the King of Cups upside down. So that's a relationship in the past that almost felt like a marriage, or maybe was a marriage. And that relationship,
it wasn't a marriage, but it did feel like it. Yep.
Yeah, that's what I was getting. Oh. Okay. So that relationship didn't help, let's just say. And I think that the 9 months to a year you've spent have been rewiring yourself to understand that is not what relationships are supposed to be. That was not what you deserve. And and you have been taking yourself up. You've been going up steps in what I'll call your energetic frequency, which I suddenly realized makes me sound like a prat, but that's okay. But you have been.
I feel it. I feel different. Yeah.
Have you changed physically in some way? Did you get something diagnosed and fixed? Did you? Yeah.
No.
That's what I'm feeling.
I just look different. You can see that I'm not sad, and everybody notices it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's amazing, isn't it? Also, I would maybe find a meditation technique you can do for 10 minutes a day, because you're somebody, your emotions come out physically. I don't know about you, but if I get really angry and stay angry, I'll put on weight. Or if I'm sad and have unshed tears, I'll get a cold. So, I mean, I believe in a big, but especially you. And so that's why when you start to be happy, and also, coffee, it shows up in your face. I'm going to say that some lines have disappeared, and you had lines here that aren't there anymore. So what's happening is it probably in about 3 months, this process is going to come to a natural end. You can speed it up by meditating, and that's when your guy's going to appear. And he's good. And a lot of us, especially us sort of slightly glamorous badass girls like both of us, in the past may have thought that dangerous and bad was exciting. And then there's a point at which we get to the point you were at. And this has started about 2 years ago is when you started this process. But the last year you have been, wow, I'm so impressed. What you're realizing is as you slow down, which is important for you because your mind goes so fast, sometimes you just like, woo! But as we slow down and become mindful, I'm not even sure I know what that means, but it sounded good. But as we slow down and become more attentive to the moment we're in, right?
Present, yes.
We become more appreciative of gentle men or women, whatever you like, llamas. Okay, maybe not llamas. We become more appreciative of a different, sorry, enough about my personal life. We become more appreciative of a kind of gentler, slower courtship, a kind of gentler, slower man. And those are better men. That's who's coming your way. He may not seem like your physical type, and don't start intimacy too early. Let him chase you. The best advice I ever got was from a friend of mine, E. Jean Carroll, who had an advice column in Elle called Ask E. Jean for like 20 years. And when I was single, I was like, "Hey, Jean, what's the one thing I need to know about dating?" And she said, "Men are hunters. Let them hunt." Okay? So let people hunt. Also, I would look in the mirror twice. Every time you pass a mirror, I'm going to give you an assignment, right? Every time you pass a mirror, wink and say, "Hello, gorgeous." And that's helped me as I've been segueing out of like being young and skinny and stuff. So also I think you're going to meet this person through some sort of either volunteer work or because you give a lot. You really do.
Yeah.
Volunteer work or something you're doing like maybe a one-off thing, but it's like volunteer or community thing. So let me, he's coming along fairly quickly. Not as fast as you'd like, but you need a little more time to ripen on the vine. And then somebody will come along and, pardon the expression, pluck you. Okay. Also, one last thing is you're working through a fear of success that you used to have and that's been disappearing. And sometimes when something doesn't work for us, even though it doesn't work for us, it's comfortable. So it's hard to let it go.
Right.
So just own your success because you've got some professional success coming along as well as personal success. This card is important because this card means that you're no longer going to make yourself smaller for anyone. And, it's like you're in this kind of bondage sounds like more fun than this card actually is. You're in a kind of emotional hostage situation. And you got out of that. And you've been learning how not to be a hostage to anybody, including yourself, which is great. But don't be impatient.
Right.
And the person who's coming along is also somebody who does not have a fear of intimacy. And that's what I got. Let me see if I get your moving anytime soon. I'm not getting a move anytime soon because they just want to talk about love and success in love and happiness and more success in love. That's fine. But so let's keep it on the love thing. I don't see you moving soon. I'm not getting it in the next 6 months. Maybe around March, something's going to open up. Yeah. And that's it. Okay. My love, thank you. And call in and let me know how you're doing.
Thank you so much.
Sure. And, I give away a reading. If you comment my Facebook page, which is Peri Lyons on Facebook, PeriLyons, I give away a free reading every week to callers. So, and I really do. So put something nice on my page.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for connecting with me. I really appreciate that.
Thank you. And thank you for having such a lovely energy. Really. Thank you, love. All right. And now we have Thomas in Scotland. I've spent all day talking about Scotland. Yay! Hi, Thomas.
Hi there.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. You?
I'm good. Oh, I love Scots. All right, my love. Tell me your birthday first.
It's February the 20th.
Oh, so you're just the last moment of Cancer. Good. Oh, so you're sensitive. But you don't let people see that, but you are. When you're not tossing capers or eating deep fried Mars bars. Okay. How can I help you today, my love?
I was just wanting a wee reading because I've never had one.
I'm sorry, say that. Your accent's so
I was
beautiful.
just wanting a wee reading because I've never had one done before.
Oh, cool. All right, let me tell you a little about yourself. Do you mind if I ask how old you are?
26.
Oh, cool. It's funny. Do you mind? I'm just going to say, I'm not going to get specific about gender, but I think you, well, I'm sorry, let me ask, are you married or in a relationship right now?
In a relationship.
Okay. You'll either marry this person in 2020 or you might get blindsided by somebody else, which I kind of think is going to happen. I think you might meet like your big love next year. That's what I'm getting. And
Yeah.
because I think you've been comfortable, and I think you really liked people, but I think you're a real romantic. And
Yeah, I'm a romantic.
oh, you're so romantic. And you've had to sort of make up both sides of the relationship in the past. I think you've been with, I mean, I'm not putting down anybody you've been with, and the person you're in a relationship with is really nice, and I hope she's not watching this. But I think that there's a way of being sort of knocked off your feet that you've always wanted and you think you've experienced, but babe, you ain't seen nothing yet.
I've not seen nothing yet.
Ain't seen nothing yet. Next year,
Right.
yeah, 20. I mean, maybe you'll have a breakthrough with this person you're with, who I think is, again, wonderful. But I think you're going to get knocked off your feet. The only thing I will say is if and when this person appears, I'm going to say when, don't let insecurity hold you back. If you think like, well, she's out of my league, darling, you're in a pretty good league. Ain't nobody out of your league. So,
Right.
and it's funny because sometimes you're both sensitive, but you have this kind of masculine kind of playful swagger sometimes, maybe when you're out with your mates, but you do. And that's so, yeah. Do you do something, maybe it's just because my best friend in Scotland is married to a guy who works in oil rigs, but do you do something where like you use your hands or it's mechanical in some way? Please say yes. I'll pay you. Yeah?
No.
Okay. I'll listen. What do you do? I can't quite get it.
What's that?
What do you do? Because it seems like you have a very good problem-solving ability. That's like, you'd be
I'm not currently employed at the moment. I'm good with my hands, sorry.
What would be your ideal job? What do you love to do?
I'd like, my dad's a mechanic. It's funny you say that. My dad's a mechanic.
Yeah, that's what I was picking up. Are you living with him? Or are you close to him?
No, I don't really see him.
Okay. What do you love to do? What would you like to do?
I'd like to be a tailor or something.
Ooh. Yeah, I could see that. Well, I would keep that in mind. I think you're going to get a job, like a day job. Not far off. You get a little shy about this because you're very proud. You don't like asking people for anything. Is that true?
That's true. I don't like asking anybody for anything.
No, you don't. And that's great. You're proud. And that's the Scots thing as well. I love Scots. You're all out of your minds, but in the best possible way. So let me grab a couple of cards here. Oh, I just had some cards fall on the floor. Here, that's interesting because when that happens, it's usually they want to tell you something. So let me see what happened here. This is an interesting card. It says you're sort of juggling two different things. I might not want to go into detail, but let's leave that lie. Okay, you've had to deal. Okay, you've been feeling. We were talking about money issues before, and you've been feeling like, I hate being broke. The job you get, it'll be a day job, and I think you'll have it for about 2 years. While you're there, save. Be a real Scotsman. Squirrel away money. Put like half of what you get every week in a savings account and don't touch it, because in 2 years, you're going to have an opportunity to do something you really love. So stick with this job and keep following up. If you give people your resumes or reach out for jobs, keep following up because you're shy, but they think you're really cool. You have a kind of quiet charisma. People like you, but you're very modest and it's hard for you. You're not up yourself at all. Anyway, we've got about 10 seconds, so I'm glad you called. If you have any other questions, just contact me on my Facebook site. I'm Peri Lyons. There's one other thing I want to tell you, and I get a little talkative. What I do want to tell you is a lot of crap happened last year. Last year, was it 18 months ago or last year? Was it a lot of crap happened 18 months ago or a year ago?
What's that?
Oh, well, I'll tell you, I was going to say, you're coming out of a hard time too. A lot of crap happened like 18 months to a year ago. Oops. And you're kind of coming out from that. You're going to be fine and more than fine. Have a lot of confidence. You deserve it. And,
Right.
you know, strong, silent men with a little bit of swagger to them. We love that. So
Right.
go get that job. It's waiting for you. And let me know how you're doing, okay? All right.
I will do. Thanks very much.
Call me back.
Thanks
All
a
right.
lot.
Thank you.
Oh.
Bye. Thanks, everybody, for being here. Come back next week and have a great week. Or else, as we say in New York. All right. Be good. Love you. I'm Peri Lyons, Celebrity New York City Psychic. Find me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. And if you Google me, you can find my webpage, and it's on your TV screen. Every Wednesday at 9 on Moonstruck TV and A1R Radio. Thanks for being here. Yay! Brooklyn loves you.